Hello and welcome to the first episode of, oh gosh, I don't even have my notebook with me. This is the dress rehearsal. Because I decided I wanted to go live with this pretend show, JiTR in Rainbowland, a live pretend show, aka Mr. Rogers for adults. That's not legally what I can call myself. But I'm so unprepared to do this. I'm just doing it because of what's going on in the world, and everybody's scared, and musicians are live streaming, and I just want to be part of something helpful. But unfortunately, my whole goal is to be peaceful, and I don't feel very peaceful because I spent the last hour trying to figure out technology so that I could go live and preserve whatever I share with you. Doesn't look like I can do it. Not at my current level of knowledge. So episode 1 will be lost to the ether. And maybe that's good, because I don't know what I'm doing yet. Okay, but I made a list, and here we go. Starting now. Welcome to JiTR in Rainbowland. I'm stealing my theme song from my pretend kids show that doesn't exist yet. Dreambird in Rainbowland. And so we'll sing that song. No, that's the ending song. Let's see. Oh, no, that's right. Rainbow animal friends, we're all friends in a rainbow world. Rainbow animal friends, we're rainbow friends. Hi, welcome. I will say one character in Dreambird in Rainbowland asked, since they are not an animal and they didn't know what they are yet, if we could change the words to the opening song. So I will change them for you. Maybe I'll change them tomorrow. Let's change them tomorrow. All right, welcome. My name's Jessica. Jessica in the Rainbow is what I perform as. And I'm going to make a little show for you today. And I didn't really figure out a good camera angle. Maybe I'll just come up by my face. So the first thing in this show is I'm going to give you a little music lesson in case you're getting bored at home. And this is a show for adults, but if kids want to watch it, I promise I won't swear, or if I swear, I'll try to edit it like quickly in the moment. But it is meant for adults, so even though I act very childlike, yeah, the themes and subjects will be adult-like. So the music lesson, the first thing I would like to show you is just some very basic things. So I'm really a piano player, but today's music lesson, graphic music lesson. Today's music lesson is just 2 basic ukulele chords. So take any ukulele. It can be one that looks like this, like a bigger, fancier one, or it can be one that looks kind of beat up. I made my own strap. And all you do is you go to the bottom part right here and go to the 3rd spot, and that's what's called a C chord. And it doesn't matter if you have a bigger ukulele or a smaller one. It's just right here. And you just hold it down. Now, I don't even strum correctly because I'm not a ukulele player by training. I'm a piano player by training. And I just strum with my thumb. You're not supposed to do that. You can look up really ukulele things. But for now, I just wanted to kind of be a source of encouragement in your life and tell you that I'm trying to remember to be myself and not just be a silly Muppet. Okay. What I'm trying to say to you is, you can make things that are much smaller and simpler than you thought had value. So that's the first part of this music lesson that I want to pass on to you. Trying to find something a little higher up so it's not such a goofy angle. And it's leaning. Okay, well, I won't tell you all my technical problems right now, but you're probably getting a little whirring sound because that's my computer right there. So, with just one chord, you could make up a song. And this hand's just picking a beat, but even if you just went like 1, 2, 3, 4, you and me disagree. I could give you one more chord because I really wanted one. right there, if you go up, it's this 1, 2 right here. That's A minor. So we could go up there and be like, in the most delightful ways. And see, I'm just strumming 4 times, and I'll go back down here. Is it strange we don't change? And now back up here. And, you know, you're not supposed to go like that or anything, but, like, that's all it is. It's just that one up there. La-di-da-di-da-da-da. So music happens in 4s a lot. You could go on forever and ever. Modern music right now is often just 2 chords. Sometimes it's 4, but they just loop around, and they loop around in groups of 4. So like 4 beats. You don't have to just go 1, 2, 3, 4, but you can. But you can also just keep that beat in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then change. 2, 3, 4. But that's a little fancier. And so literally, you can also just hit it 1 time. La da da, then switch it. And I just kept the beats of 4 in my head. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you'll let your singing lead. You and me disagree in the most delightful ways. We don't change. Is it strange? Blah 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 blah. Do 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 do. There's your music lesson for today. Next is doodles. All right. Let's go to my doodle chair. There you go. All right. So today's doodle is this snail. So I'm gonna flip my phone around. Let's see if I can get that to happen while this is going. I can't. Okay. So the live stream will actually be better for this topic, but I'm gonna try to turn this and make it so you can see my notebook. Okay. There's the snail. Let's see if I can do that. All right, here we go. So you're gonna start, hope you can see, start on a point and just start to swirl to the right. Swirl, 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 until you don't feel like swirling anymore, and then you swoop up and come down. And that's how you make a cute snail. And you put on some eyes and a mouth. I like to not attach things, so that leaves some room for them to be what they want to be. And then my boyfriend told me you really should have one of those things, you know, because that's how they move. There you go. There's a snail. And you can make your own now. Snaily the snail. Okay, that's doodle time. Next. Oh, show and tell. Let's see, what should I do show and tell with today? I didn't really pick a thing. I got this dog at the Dollar Tree. That's my show and tell for the day. The only significance this dog has is that I bought a bunch of dollar store animals and I gave them away to people and when we did house shows, and I gave some things away to my nieces and nephews, and this was one I wasn't super attached to, but I was attached to this cute little frog that was just like it. But then when I was offering stuffed animals to my nieces and nephews, my nephew picked this adorable frog, and so I ended up with the dog, and so it helps me remember that, you know, it's nice to give things away. And you can still have nice memories, and then you get a cute dog. This dog also featured in a cover song that I made of that Harry Nilsson song, the puppy song, that is the opening credits for the Meg Ryan, Tom Hanks, Nora Ephron movie, You've Got Mail. There you go. Show and tell. Bye. Next. Oh, readings. Okay, so we're going to get a little heavier now. Actually, suddenly a lot heavier. I haven't really structured this show out, so I don't really realize how transitional some of these transitions might be, but here we go. So I was thinking through some different things to read about. I have a lot of things. I'll do a different thing every day. And the whole point of this, it's not going to be very peaceful yet, but the whole point is to spread peace and joy and kind of show you some of my morning routines that help me feel centered. I don't do anything in a routine way. Like, I'm not a very structured person. So this is strange for me to like structure this into a show, but I'm hoping that over time, the structure will come to just be there and I'll find my natural rhythms inside of it. So this is a strange first reading, perhaps, because I wanted to share things that are Taoist, Buddhist, you know, like artistic, like, you know, the artist's way, Julia Cameron. I wanted to share on lots of different topics, but for today's first one, I want to actually share the words that I use more than any other words. And so if you are not Christian, or if Christianity offends you, you know, please know that I draw from lots of different places and inspirations, but this is probably where my, like, the center of my heart lies in terms of keeping things away that feel, I guess you could say, evil. There have just been times in my life where I've really felt like something was trying to harm me, and having this as a source of protection and comfort was meaningful in my life. So here you go. Well, I don't even really need to read it out of here. I have it, my sister framed it for me. It's on my dresser. But our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, or forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. So books, I'll say it a little bit differently based on who edited it, but I'll just talk you through what I think about when I read that. Our Father who art in heaven. Oh, that's coffee's done. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Helps me remember that, you know, whether or not my name goes down in history, almost none of our names will. This is me, this is you, this is everybody. And even people's names who do go down in history. Like when I was 9, I told my mom I was Beethoven reincarnated. Like, A, what does that mean in terms of like my own experience? Why did I even know that at age 9? And B, if that was true, to be reincarnated wouldn't necessarily be a good thing, because I've heard things about Beethoven struggling with arrogance and struggling with anger, like severe anger, at not being recognized. How torturous is that? So now, you know, say you're Beethoven in a new body, feeling like you're not recognized in your current body, even if your old body was recognized after you died, like, or say you were recognized, like Beethoven was recognized, but felt like he was being treated like a servant and eating in the servants' quarters rather than with the royalty, when he's sitting here divining these like works that he felt were coming from God. And it's like, what's the value of being revered? Like, I want to be useful, but the whole reason I haven't made a show like this before is because I can't live up to the standards in my mind. I can't become Mr. Rogers. I certainly, even if I could do it exactly like him, that's not exactly what I want to do. It's like I feel something inside of myself that feels great, that there's something big I could do. But the pressure of being revered or not revered, the pressure of being something or not being something, is too great. And it blocks me. It blocks spiritual power. It blocks emotional power. It blocks usefulness, which is why I've never done this. Even though I make videos all the time, I'm terrified to structure them and call them a thing for fear of judgment. So, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. You're hallowed. I am not hallowed. That comes up again at the end. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Like God's will, not mine. Because I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I'm guessing in the dark, like most of us are. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. On earth as it is in heaven. I mean, I don't really want to get into that on my very first episode, heaven and hell. That's beyond my pay grade, which is nothing. On earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. I think that's important right now. I think that's why I felt called to start with this one. You know, people are freaking out about toilet paper right now. We don't have toilet paper. We have a half a roll and 8 boxes of tissue. And I tried to get the ones that didn't have stuff on them so that we could still flush them. But like, this is not in my control. I will be able to survive today. I hope you will too. And that's about all that I need a creator to give me for today, even though I've gotten very used to the comforts of much more than just daily bread. So give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. That's a tough one for me. Forgive us our debts or trespasses as we forgive those who debt or trespass against us. It's like I have lots of outstanding debts and things that I didn't finish that I thought I would or that I said I would. And I do. It helps me to ask forgiveness for those, or at least remember that those exist so that I don't get stuck in resentment for those who are withholding kindness or withholding things they owe me. You know, it's just not a good place to live, is in resentment. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For me, that's the scariest one. I try to stay in like sort of Psalm 23 beliefs, and I just try to stay out of fear. Like I try to believe that if there is evil in this world, that there is a loving God that is protecting me from it. And I can't control whether or not everyone gets protected. I can only say prayers, or I can be centered and, you know, just do my best. Lead us not into deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. And that's just a reminder that it's not mine. This world's not mine. You know, they say that like the insanity of man is that we're all wanting to be immortal. Who wants to believe that all of this light and this love that you feel inside of you would perish and be done and the world would go on without you? Who would want to come to terms with that? We don't. And so I have to believe that my body and my mind and my spirit are just very separate. Like my spirit is the thing that is eternal and is one with God, and I don't need to worry about the smallness of my being and the smallness of something like this show or my YouTube channel and almost no followers. I lied. 94 followers. I think I'm up to 95 today. You know, but not that many people watch them, but that's okay. It's not, this can't be my goal. This ephemeral being, this can't be my goal. So it's not my goal. And there's the reading portion of the day, because that was really awkward and I don't ever want to pick something quite that heavy again, so I got it out of the way on my first day. All right, feelings. Pick a feeling. Oh boy, another heavy one. I probably should have mixed these things up. Heavy, light. Maybe not. Feeling. So the feeling I picked today is fear. So I just want to talk a little about fear. Let's go to a different place. Let's go to my feelings chair. What's going to be my feelings chair? Let's make this the feelings chair. Whoops. Okay, feelings chair. Hello, feelings chair. So, we're just going to talk for a second about fear. It's very hard to come right out of that reading and go right into this. I suppose I could move song time to right now. No, I'm going to stick with my program, for at least for today. Feelings. Fear. So I think fear has a usefulness when it comes to like saving us from getting hit by a car. Like that natural feeling of fear when you cross a road that like some deer don't have. Maybe they haven't evolved to it yet and they just go scampering across, but others seem to have it. Because maybe, I don't know, older, wiser, I have no idea. And they panic because they understand, oh shoot, this ground is hard and the hard ground is the fake ground and this is where we're going to get hit by a car. I have no idea how this works. I don't know, do deer have lineage? I don't know what I believe. Don't worry about that. I mean, you can if you want. I'm worried about that. But my point is, fear is obviously meant to be an important mechanism in our being. Like we are meant to be able to be afraid of things in order to avoid danger. But beyond that is where fear, I think, gets really tricky. And so that's going to be in an upcoming segment on your body and mind. But Oh my gosh, and spirituality. Oh my gosh, other rambles. Woof! I got a lot more to go and I'm at 20 minutes. I guess I could have scripted this part. I thought I'd want to just talk naturally, but I'm a little overwhelmed by the excessive amounts of different things so far. So all my videos prior to this moment have had a natural, organic flow to them, and this is me trying to force segments, and this is actually really hard for me because I like natural and organic. So I might not do this long term, but I'm trying to pack as much as I can into a small amount of time so that you have something dense to watch that is relevant to what you might be experiencing all of a sudden out of the blue if you're suddenly home alone and have cabin fever. It's hard for me to talk about feelings without talking about how I experience them in my body. And because that's a segment, 3 segments from now, I'm struggling. So, I don't want to talk about what I think fear is. I want to talk about how to work with fear. So, maybe I'll call this, let me change what this is called. I'm going to call it Feeling Your Feelings. Okay. Let's find a pen. So this is no longer called feelings. It is called Feeling Your Feelings. Okay. Now if this gets into body and mind, then I can just change my segments later. But that's okay. Feeling your feelings. So, fear. How do you feel fear? How do you manage feeling fear? Well, where is fear? Fear is it's in your body. I mean, fear for me can be in my mind. Yep. It's like a intensity, like a buzzing. It can be in my thoughts. It can be sentences running through my brain, saying things that I don't want to be thinking about but can't help think about. It can be a feeling like a fluttering in my chest. It can be a squeezing in my throat. Fear, fight or flight response, like, is useful in those moments, like you're about to cross the street and fear freaks you out. You realize where you are and it saves you, or it saves another person. But I'm talking about the kind where you're just sitting at home and you're trying to be okay, but you can't get your mind off something, partly because you're choosing to put your mind on something. Like maybe you're watching all these updates that aren't serving you on like what's going on with, the pandemic or something. Something is something you're choosing to put your attention on. And so fear, I counteract fear with a lot of these like spiritual books. These aren't all spiritual books, but there's different ones. And I counteract fear by asking it what it's trying to tell me. That's a strange one because I don't always think it has value, what it's trying to tell me. I counteract fear with deep breathing. And this segment might make more sense in a live stream, but I counteract fear with journaling. I'll write it out, and then sometimes I'll question my own fears. I'll write out fears, and I'll write out worst case scenarios, and then imagine, I don't do that kind of work as much as I used to, but there are books on that you can turn it into an exercise, like a writing exercise. Anyway, I think I'm going to move on because I don't quite understand my Feeling Your Feelings segment yet. Okay, next was Other Rambles, aka Right Now, and how I do presence work. So presence work, everybody talks about presence. I'm just going to stay right here rather than get up and show an angle, whatever. But Other Rambles, aka Right Now. Let's just get very present together. How are you? For me to get present, I just have to be aware of things. My arm is up in the air. I'm holding a phone. Now my arm is down. I switched angles. I got my elbow on a chair. My feet are wiggling a little bit. I've got on lamb slippers. Very cute. Wait, where are they? They're there. And I have on leggings. I have on my Adidas cuff leggings that my parents got me. A little flower skirt, an Earthwork Harvest Gathering sweatshirt. But see, now my presence needs to stay here now, not randomly tell you a story about Earthwork Harvest Gathering, which is the festival we've played at for a few years. Like, that's not useful for presents. So my hair feels kind of bristly. My nose looks like a little button. I was itching a little bit from my hair being in it. This hat's a little itchy. You know, being present is so much harder than it sounds. So much harder. Take some breaths. Most of the time, if I haven't been getting present regularly, then getting present it makes me feel very anxious. Very anxious. Yep. It's all right through here. It's just very tense. My mind feels anxious. Nerves. It's partly because I'm about to go live. I said I would go live. I'm going live like in just a couple minutes. Which means I won't have time to make this whole thing now. I'll have to splice the song on it. This is just the dress rehearsal. Okay, hope that helped you get present. Helped me. I have 2 more segments in the song. The next segment says spirituality, my own mind, different topic per day. I don't have any spirituality topic thoughts coming to mind right now. If you want to ask me some in the comments, I'll address them next time. Feel free. But I will say that I have a long chunk of time where I was into Taoism. Then I studied some Buddhism. I was raised Christian. There's quite a few different New Age writers that I've studied. The main thing I probably say often is that creativity has been both my therapy. Sometimes I would say creativity is my spirituality. Even the way that I interact with God is much like a mystic from the 1400s or before. Mystics tend to believe they can experience and communicate with God directly, like a lot of people who write all those books like Conversations with God. And I'm not endorsing any of these books wholeheartedly. There's no one book that really sums up what my experience has been like. Not even, maybe even especially not the Bible. I find that the parts that cause people to pull away are not necessarily wrong, but they might be wrong for you, because if it causes you to pull away from something that loves you and could help you, an energy, a force, your creator, any of that, then if it's causing you to pull away from it, then that's not serving you. Why would you turn your back on all of it 100%? Find the pieces that can help you and can help you feel some peace and some love and some connection to something divine. Your body and mind. I kind of already did that, but I'll take you through one body part, sort of. So your body and mind might be the segment where I want to talk about how to be in touch with both your body and mind. And let's just make today about the heart, because that's where I'm kind of fluttery. So I normally, when I pick a body part to work with, it is based on which one's kind of asking for my attention. My heart is feeling nervous. It's feeling stressed. So I put my hand on it and I just kind of ask it, hey, I learned this from a therapist over a decade ago. And I'm just hey, is there anything you want to tell me? And I just wait and listen. And yes, it doesn't say words, but I hear words, but that's because I have a creative mind. And I have a willingness to listen for intuition. Then it feels like guidance. Dr. Wayne Dyer talks a lot about this kind of stuff. And it's just saying that it's nervous. And that it's uncomfortable. Maybe I'm giving away too much of myself. Maybe too many private things. Things that have historically been private for me. Maybe I'm sharing them too much. Especially Christianity. That's not comfortable for me, because I've been part of the indie music scene and that world, and a lot of those people have turned their backs on traditional Christianity because of how traditional Christianity has maybe turned its backs on them. And it's really disturbing to say God, capital G, God, with any sort of non-embarrassment. I was going to say with love, but it's not. In my private world, I'm comfortable with this stuff, but in this public sphere, I'm not, because it is not looked on well in the music industry. And there's a lot of people who throw around like 666 kind of stuff and think that that's cool and other things like that. And I'm actually just, I've gone all over the place. I've even been an atheist at one point in my life and an agnostic, but not for a long time. But still, like, I understand some of those sentiments, but that doesn't change the fact that that is not where I'm at now. And it's hard to be in an industry, even if I'm barely making money, it's just hard to be part of a world and associated with a world that maybe would be laughing at me, laughing at my heart, laughing at what I believe. But, and this is like a form of bravery. Courage, core, it's in French, means heart. You know, it takes bravery to share your heart. And I'm not even asking you to share it. I'm just sharing mine in case it's helpful to you. All right, the next and almost last segment is I'll play a Jessica and the Rainbow song for you. And I think it's past, it's 11:03. I'm supposed to go live. So I will do that later. I'll record it. I'll splice it together, and this will be my dress rehearsal. And then I will also sing you the closing theme song. And then that'll be it. Bye. Hello. Okay, last segment. I'm going to play you a Jessica and the Rainbow song. Here we go. This is called The Secret Song. Bye. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching my show. Oh, not time to go yet. We gotta sing the closing song. So I'm stealing the opening and closing songs from my kids' show that's probably like 2 years out. I wasn't gonna start making finishing the kids album or kids show until a lot more things calms down in my life, but it's not up to me. This world is crazy right now, and I just want to provide some comfort. Okay. Okay, here you go. This is the closing theme song for Dreambird in Rainbowland, but it is now being hijacked for JiTR in Rainbowland. Oh yeah, that's not the beat. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. The world can be your friend. There's no reason why it can't. The world can be your friend. All you have to do is take its hand and sing. And sing. A lot of tune. And sing. And sing. There you go. Episode 1, live streamed of JiTR in Rainbowland live pretend show, aka Mr. Rogers for Adults. Hope that was helpful. Hope there was something in there that helped you today. Good luck managing all your feelings. It can be done. I'll be back tomorrow at 11 with all these topics again. It might get more succinct eventually. All right. Bye.